folks, thanks for tuning in, hope you're all well. Thought I'd cover this little story, because I think there's something wrong with this one as well. I'll let you decide though. But this woman here, Bekki Dean, she's just been done with possession of a firearm, convicted in September last year and sentenced along with her accomplice today. I thought I'd cover it though because it seems that there is a disparity somewhere in the sentencing in this case. The police did a good job in this case, I think, at least in getting the gun off the street. It's certainly a lot better than them weighing in on whether Weetabix should have baked beans on them, which of course they shouldn't, but why the hell are police resources being spent on trying to have a laugh on social media? Especially a laugh as poor quality as that. It seems that it's only the police that can have a laugh on social media these days as well, because they won't arrest themselves if they slip up and say something that is illegal to say by accident. But anyway, at least in this case they're actually doing some kind of respectable police work and getting a tool of murder off the street. Now I don't know what their intelligence really was, but it sounds like they might have tapped phones or been tipped off by somebody. They don't actually say in any of the reports or in the police report itself, but it could have also just been bumbling by the suspects, to be honest. They pulled over the lady, Bekki Dean, while she was driving and obviously ordered her to step out of the car. It was armed police that did this, and they asked her if there was anything in the car that they should know about before they searched it. Now for some reason she just told them that there was a gun in her handbag, which was mentioned in reports as a Louis Vuitton handbag, because that's what the readers are interested in. They want to know what make the handbag is that the gun is in. So she told them that the gun's in the handbag. I don't know why she's keeping it in her handbag anyway. I would have thought that she would potentially have tried to hide it in her car before setting off rather than just having it on the passenger seat beside her. But I suppose it's just as well that she didn't, because the police have got the gun and it was a Glock 9mm. And it was loaded as well, so it was ready to go. And you can really tell that she knew she was in a bit of trouble, because just look at her face. That is somebody who's been caught. That's what that is, the face of someone that's been caught. So after she got busted, she gave a prepared statement to the police saying that she was transporting it under duress and that she was afraid of the person that she was transporting it to. Very convenient that she had that statement prepared. Quite clever, I suppose. I don't see why that would come into it in the commission of a crime such as this, however. Now, she didn't tell the police who she was going to meet, but the police looked through her phone and found a photograph of this gentleman, Bradley Clancy. In fact, it was a photograph of his driving licence that they found on her phone for some reason. I don't know why, but well done for helping the police, again. They also saw several phone calls between herself and somebody who was listed in her phone as Bradley, the same name as the guy on the ID. So his ID's there, and multiple calls were made and received between her and Bradley the day that she was arrested with the loaded gun, and she didn't even have him saved in her phone under a different name. So the police, not really needing to do much detective work here, to be honest with you, went to his house, and the address was probably on the ID as well, and they gave him a DNA swab, and his DNA was later found on the gun, on the muzzle of the gun. So they took that as evidence that it had been in his possession before, which I suppose is fair enough, although if you had a decent lawyer, I think having your DNA on the muzzle of a gun could have been explained by being in contact with the gun, not necessarily that the gun was in your possession particularly though. But the gun itself, from what I can gather, has not been linked to any crimes. The crime is the possession of the gun. Obviously in the UK, you don't possess a Glock 9mm that's loaded for wholesome reasons, because it's very, very illegal. So fast forward to today, Bekki Dean and Bradley Clancy were sentenced. Bekki was sentenced for conspiracy to transfer a firearm and possession of a firearm and ammunition, and Bradley was sentenced for conspiracy to transfer a firearm as well, and possession of a firearm and ammunition as well, but also with intent to danger life. Now she was given 5 years in prison, and he was given more than double that, 12 years he received. So Bekki obviously didn't get convicted of the intent to danger life part, but she was the one that was caught with the loaded gun in her handbag, whereas Bradley was not caught with it. His DNA was found on the muzzle, and somehow he gets sent down for the same charge but with intent to danger life added on. What if he was just going to be passing the gun on to someone else as well? Or would that not have been believed by the court? Now don't get me wrong, I'm more than happy for guns to be taken off the street. I think anyone passing a gun around should get a lot more than 12 years personally, but it just seems that Bekki Dean's sentence is disproportionately low when compared to her accomplice. Now maybe her prepared statement saying that she did it under duress was a factor, but I didn't realise that doing something under duress was a defence when it came to committing a crime, especially a premeditated crime where you've got to put the gun in your car and set off from point A to point B to pass the gun to another person. Would it take doing it under duress from a burglar? Would it matter if other crimes were committed under duress, or is it only in this specific case that it matters? Having a loaded Glock pistol in your Louis Vuitton handbag with the intent to transfer it to another person doesn't really seem like the kind of thing you should be getting much leeway for. And of course, instantly having a prepared statement that you did it under duress, that's a little bit fishy as well. But maybe the judge felt bad for her, because that is the absolute bare minimum sentence possible you can get for the possession of a firearm. It's a mandatory minimum 5-year sentence. She didn't get anything extra for the fact that it was loaded, or the fact that she intended to provide it to another person without any concern for the fact it could have been used to kill other people. This was not just an ornament on her mantelpiece, and she got the minimum sentence for simple possession. Yet the male accomplice, who wasn't even there, but whose DNA was found on the muzzle of the gun, not the trigger of the gun, not the handle, but the muzzle, a gun which has not been linked to any other crimes, he gets 12 years and the intent to danger life factor as well with him, compared to her 5 years for simple possession. There's something wrong somewhere, in my opinion, but I will of course leave that to you to decide in the comments. I am going to leave it there, folks, just a very quick one today. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to drop a like on the video if you enjoyed the content, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers, folks.